Hello and welcome to the bonus 1 year anniversary birthday thing episode of the What is K-pop podcast. Holy shit. I've been doing this for a year. Like, as in today. As in, like, right now when hopefully you're seeing this, on the 23rd of February. But if you're not, then I've been doing this for over a year. Holy mother of pearl. Time is a thing that has happened, and I'm now, I don't even know what to say. I'm someone who has been doing something for a year, like consistently for a year. I mean, granted, I've been doing like college courses for like over 2 years, but like nothing that dramatic. But like, it is still extremely odd, like that it could even be possible for me to have done podcasting for a year. Like, what? But also, it feels like it's been the longest time. Like, as though I've just been like as Eric Nam said during the pandemic, he was like, I'm just in here podcasting. This is all I do. I'm like, yeah, I feel that on like a personal level. All I do virtually is podcast. When actually that isn't strictly true. I don't constantly podcast. God, I think I'd actually go clinical if I podcasted all the time, because like I don't actually really have many things that are like that interesting really to say. So like it isn't like I couldn't podcast all of the time. So yeah. So there's like I'm even gonna click that, knowing my fucking luck it would probably turn into like music or something. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about a more in-depth look at BTS. Now I do just want to say that I have, so if you've been keeping up with my life, like through what are you doing? Oh god, petals going on my colouring stuff. Anyway, if you've been keeping up with like the episodes, you will know that my family have been having a fun cold thing. And yeah, now I've potentially caught it a little bit. But I mean, granted, I've kind of had it for like a while. Like a fun old sore throat for a while, but like yesterday and today, it's just been kind of annoying. And now I'm just like kind of over the sniffles, and I never want to hear a sniffle or a cough ever again, because I think I might actually go clinical. I've also just been like, just as I've been talking, I've been trying to find a quote that about, I could have sworn I talked about it. About BTS re-signing a contract last year, but I don't think it has. It was last year. I don't remember. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be real. I don't remember that constantly. So why BTS? It was the first episode that I did. I talked about the members, and I wanted to talk about them again because it's special. It's cool. It's something that I want to go in more in depth about them as a group, and a bit about their like personal work, because it's cool and I want to talk about it. So BTS, Bangtan, Sonyeondan, Bulletproof Boy Scouts, Beyond the Scene, Bangtan Boys, those people that you constantly think of when you think of K-pop, those lads, those Jiminy's, So when I got into K-pop, I told this story. I'm pretty sure I have. I've told a lot of stories about my life, but when I first got into K-pop, it was around when we were in England. We were coming out of our third lockdown, and I was bored, as a person would be, and I was waiting for a therapy session to start, and I was deciding to read some fan fiction. I read some in the Gilmore Girls series, didn't really like it, and then there was some about BTS, so I read it, and then I got into them for about a week of reading fanfiction, and I was like, actually, I'm kind of over reading their fanfiction, not actually understanding what I'm reading about. So then I, started listening to I believe it was Fly to My Room first. Then I think I watched the Jimmy Fallon interview first. Then it was Fly to My Room on Spotify. And I was like, I want to watch Dionysus, whatever the blooming song it's fucking called, on some music show. So I ended up listening to that. 4 years later, we're still here. We're still talking about it. And I was into them, I got into them, and then very shortly thereafter, just after what would have been the February half term, we returned to school, and that all blew up in my face. My school basically told me and my parents that we can't have her back, and so started my K-pop addiction properly. And it was about a month before I ventured out of the BTS realm. Thankfully, got into like 17, Stray Kids, and Hyphen, TXT, and then I kind of just went all in on stuff. And there's like a few instances where I remember like certain when I got into certain groups, and I remember 80s I was about to start doing gardening outside, and I was watching, and I clicked onto a music video. I was like, okay, well, I'll listen to this song, and it was Wonderland, and I was like, this is amazing. And then it got to like the We Must going on, and I was like, this is the group for me. This is it. This is the shit. I was like, if they do songs like this, I'm gonna really like it. And I said it about most groups. I was like, if they carry on doing songs like this, I'm gonna really like them. And Wonderland is like one of, like, it is the same sort of genre as the other songs that they do. They do. But it isn't exact one to one. But I'd say it's better. Like, honestly, one of my favorite, like my favorite older title tracks is actually Wave, which isn't most people's favorite. Loads of people are like Illusion. I can't stand that song. Like, I genuinely hate it. Like, Wave is just the shit. And I think it's because it's like a summer song, and every now and then I kind of love summer again. But honestly, like, summer is my least favourite season because of the fact that it's so hot. But then also winter kind of is like seasonal depression time. Like, I like Christmas, so it's like it's just a lot of feelings about all the seasons. And we're not here to talk about the seasons, we're actually here to talk about BTS. And I will say, just as like I have to tell you, because this is quite funny, I kind of got into ChatGPT. This is really bad. So the thing is that I already had a ChatGPT account, because I was like, I want to get ideas for like potato recipes, and I just carried on having it, and I just didn't really explore it. And then I was like, for some reason, let's see if they can write fan fiction. So I did that. I did that for a bit. My account is Tulipsa, if you're wondering, like tulip essay. For no reason. That's just it's just the username. I was just kind of like, I like tulips, and then I was like, SA. I don't know. Just put two letters. I don't know. Because I couldn't just have tulips, so I was like, ba-dum-dum. Yeah. Anyway, so I went on to that, and then I was like, well, I don't know what to talk about, like in which way to talk about BTS. So I asked ChatGPT for a little bit of help. I know people don't like ChatGPT because it takes away from artists. However, I do feel like in some aspects it's actually quite useful, and it takes away some of the time that it would have taken me to decide on what to talk about. So sorry. I have no real regrets about it though. So, introduction. So why am I talking about? I'm just going through them. Why is BTS BTS? I don't really know. I think the reason why BTS kind of became as big as they become dancers anyway. They became who they have become, I think, because we, as a society, we needed the music when we needed it. And, they just happened to have visuals down and stuff like that. Like, after consuming the content and being able to give it a retrospective look, I am kind of a bit like, yeah, why are they famous? Like, actually, why are they famous? And not as like a, why are they famous? They're not even that good. It's like a, I don't understand why in particular they're famous and they're the most well known. Because personally, for me, I feel like some groups, they deserved more like mainstream society, like world success that BTS got. Like, TVXQ. I had to say it. I had to say it. Maybe they could have been the BTS of their time, but you know, it's nothing against them. They have really good songs and stuff, but you know, sometimes I'm a bit like, but they certainly helped contribute. They got me into K-pop, so I can't slate them. I can slate them, but I can't really, can I? There's a reason why I'm here, but you know, you can give criticisms but also respect where someone's come from. So BTS did start being formed in 2010 after Ban Shi-hyuk, who is Big Hit's at the time. I'm going to be referring to them as Big Hit for the duration of when they were Big Hit instead of going Hype, formerly known as Big Hit. Big Hit CEO Ban Shi-hyuk wanted to perform a hip-hop group around Namjoon, RM, who was discovered as an underground rapper at the time. So physical album sales were actually on the decline and digital revenues were not yet enough to compensate for that. So Ban Shi-hyuk decided to form an idol group instead of like having just like a group that would just perform on stage. And many of the trainees at the time actually point blank refused to become an idol group. But J-Hope, RM, and Sugar, so Hoseok, Namjoon, and Yoongi actually remained. And it's kind of like a famous story saying that Yoongi didn't really want to do the dancing side of things, but like it is a common practice, or at least like it's a common phrase to just play the game, to just do what you need to do to get where you need to be. And then you can reap the rewards. But most people are like, well, if you don't like dancing, you shouldn't have become part of an idol group. And I'm like, yeah, you also don't need to be a twat, but yet you are one. Sorry. Well, actually, no, I'm not sorry. I'm just stating opinions. So, auditions were held in 2010 to launch in the following year, 2011. But obviously, that didn't really happen. And Shi-hyuk chose from a variety of highly regimented idols, and that chose to vary from those sorts of idols as opposed to people who would be free to express themselves rather than being like an ensemble cast. Obviously, Big Hit wasn't what we know now them to be. They actually were pretty much in the doghouse actually when BTS were kind of being formed. The previous year in 2012, they had actually had a group called Galam, which had a few issues, and they actually had to. So they had female trainees at the company at the time, and they actually had to send them to a new company, Source Music, well, not a new company, but like a different company, Source Music, who eventually took those trainees and debuted them as GFriend. And then Big Hit eventually then acquired Source Music and had those girls back in the company. Honestly, that is just like far too funny for me. Like, it's like, what? Like, if I was a part of GFriend, I'll just be like, great, we're going back to the company that sold us. Like, great, wonderful, love that for me. If you could see my face, it's not impressed. So they debuted. Kind of. They released their debut single album Too Cool for School on the 12th of June 2013. Obviously, it had the lead single of No More Dream, which didn't sell particularly well. And then technically their official debut is on the 13th of June 2013 with their debut stage at M Countdown with No More Dream. So, yeah. And then 3 months later, they released the second entry to their school trilogy with the EP Are You Late To? Literally spelt O what's that thing called? Point R U, as in the letter R U L 8, the number 8, comma, the number 2. And when I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is what I've gotten into. Yeah. Because obviously I focused on their later stuff in 2021, I didn't really have the connection or the desire really to listen to their earlier works because, I just didn't really do that. But obviously now I have listened to their stuff and they're not like their earlier works. School Trilogy is good. It's just has a certain je ne sais quoi. If you are catching my Tokyo Drift here, it does take a certain person to like that stuff, and like yeah, it's cute, but I guess because of the fact I think differently, I don't really have the connection to it of it being sweet is like their first thing that they did, and that is something really special. I'm just like, yeah, no, it doesn't really tickle my pickle. Such a weird saying that is. So the album came along with No, which obviously had the same theme as Too Cool for School, and with the theme of students feeling under pressure and needing to sacrifice their dreams and aspirations. And obviously it was very poignant in South Korea given the regimented schooling system, which unfortunately hasn't improved despite, it being 10 years old. Like, things should have really improved by this point, but I mean, the school system in any place is still going to be quite a regiment. There's a word for it, if I can think of it. Draconian. I don't know, yeah. And also, at the end of year shows, they actually ended up winning the Rookie Award with Ladies Code. I found that out the other day, actually, through Ashley, who was a part of a Ladies Code, that, they won the Rookie Award with them. So moving on to 2014, we have School Love Affair, which I personally, I love this album. It's so good. Not album, but like EP. It's my favourite one, I think, out of their older stuff. And it was supported by 2 singles, Boy in Love and Just One Day. I have listened to Just One Day so much. It's unreal. But I could not sing you the lyrics at all. But it is so 2014 coded. Like, if I had listened to these songs back in 2013, 2014, back when I was a kid, I think I would have loved them, but then also have been really awkward about the fact that I love them and probably just never acknowledged it at all, which probably would surprise absolutely no one. So following the EP's release, they actually played their first fan meeting in Seoul and selecting ARMY for their fan club name, which is an acronym for Adorable Representative Something Youth. I can't remember what the M stands for. And yeah, I sometimes wish this was a visual podcast so then you would be able to see my expressions when I'm saying these things. But I'm like, don't know if I like that. No. What does BTS Army do? Oh my god. Adorable Representative MC for Youth. Yeah. Okay. We're just gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that where it is. And the EP was released in February of 2014. Yeah, so in August of 2014, they released their first album, Dark and Wild, which released number 2 in South Korea, and supported by Danger and War of Hormone. War of Hormone. Ha. So I actually like War of Hormone, which I know that not a lot of people do like that song. However, I will always maintain the idea that I am my own person, that I will like a song, even if it's not necessarily the most appropriate. So I've got a thing from the Wikipedia page about Dark and Wild. Some listeners responded to War of Hormone's song by saying it's misogynistic, and Big Hit then released an apologies about the song, stating the members feel remorse for anything that could have been interpreted as objectification or misogyny, and it's mainly due to the idea that like girls are some sort of conquest for boys to like be, and that isn't like good. But then also, I do like the song, and I think it's funny more than anything. So yeah, no, that is just my 2 cents on that. And also, this EP, we got BTS Cypher number part 3, Killer. Love it. Not as much as Cypher 4, but it is a good one. And we do get Let Me Know, which I've not actually mentioned the B-sides, but also I like B-sides more than typically title tracks, which is far too funny. Okay, so they do have a tour. They went on tour in Japan and in South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Taiwan, and then continued on into Malaysia, Australia, America, Mexico, Brazil, Chile, Thailand, and China. Cool. So moving on to 2015. So they went on to experiment with new styles of music outside of hip hop with The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 1, released on the 29th of April 2015. And it was mainly interpreted as to define youth metaphorically as the most beautiful moment in life, given that youth is you don't have as many responsibilities, and that it introduced their youth trilogy, a trip chick I can't say that word, can I? A trip chick. No, I'm not going to try it. Of albums dedicated to the struggles of young people, with the lead single Need You, which again, don't like it, and their second single, Dope, which again, don't like it. Find something that I do like. I swear I like this. I swear I was a fan. I just don't like some of the music. And then on the 30th of November 2015, released The Most Beautiful Moment in Life Part 2, which had the song Run as their title track. To cap out the youth trilogy. I'm like doing some sort of cauldron thing with my hands right now. The Most Beautiful Moment in Life, Forever Young, was released on the 2nd of May 2016, which had Epilogue, Young Forever, Fire, and Save Me as their singles. Now, I do actually like these songs. Shocker, Sophie likes music. But no, I do, I like, I think out of the three of them, I think I like Young Forever the most, and then Save Me, and then Fire. Fire being the one that I probably dislike the most. Oh yeah, oh well. That is what it is. Oh my god, that night cover is actually really cute. Oh, I was trying to see the old track list. Oh, they had Silver Spoon on this one, but so yeah. And Walian 52 and House of. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember this now. Yeah, I briefly considered buying that album, but then I was like, no. So, yeah, they have been doing Japanese albums, which I completely forgot about talking. I don't want that one. I want the Japanese one. Give me the Japanese. Tell me what the bloomin'. Never mind, I don't give a shit. Sorry, I had to say it. So, in October of 2016, was on the 10th of October 2016, Wings, which is their second Korean and fourth overall studio album, released. And it combined themes of youth presented in their previous youth trilogy with temptation and adversity, and it came with the lead single Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Surprise, surprise, I didn't like that one. And there was a repackaged album called You'll Never Walk Alone. I can't speak. Released on the 13th of February 2017. And there was actually, I will say this, there was different album covers, and what was different about these album covers was that they all made together, when you put them together, all made a picture. And I think that really capped off the idea that, like, you have to buy all the albums to understand the album presentation. I was like, I'm trying to find the words, but they're not coming to me. Personally, I've never bought. The only albums I have I think I only have one album that I actually have two versions of, and it was Boy Next Door, and it was the Weverse version, and then the one with the townhouse thing, because I bought the Weverse one. Then I was like, I can't listen to it because it's not a freaking CD. I'm so annoyed. And then like a year or so later, I actually found the Townhouse version, and I was like, bye, ding, come to me, come to dad, come to mummy, come here. And yeah, no, I have. I think that's pretty much the only album that I have two versions of. I do want to get another version of Proof, like the big £90 version, but it's whatever. The only reason I actually have that version is because when I asked for it for my birthday, obviously, like, your parents are gonna think to themselves, well, just buy the cheapest version, she ain't gonna know. And I was like, of course I know. And I should have kind of been like, oh no, I've put the most expensive one on there. Such a shame. So now I've learnt the lesson. This sounds really entitled, but I've learnt my lesson, and when I ask for albums, my parents say to me, Sophie, you're gonna have to buy them for us because we don't know what you want. Because obviously, it's different album versions, not all of them look pretty, and I want to have a certain one. But now I'm a bit of a album snob. I actually have 50 something albums now. Like, it's actually really bad. Like, one night at like 10:30 at night, I was like, I'm gonna count my albums real quick. And I don't even think I even counted them up fully or like properly, because I'm pretty sure I have more. But yeah, no, it's been 2.5 years thereabouts since I got my first album, because I got it for my 19th birthday. And pretty much every single time, so like my 19th Christmas, 20th Christmas, 21st Christmas, that's like six times that I've gotten at least 5 albums each. And like, I buy albums throughout the year for myself. And yeah, your girl, she has a problem. So yeah, should I make an episode all about the albums I have? Maybe. I might do that. Even though it does feel a little bit disingenuous, I don't really care, because you know what, this is my podcast and I can do what I want. Reason. Obviously within reason. We have to say within reason, okay? If I can find the point. So they released the Never Walk Alone album. Repackaged album with Spring Day. And is it actually said, or is it just like a, yeah, no, it is to do with this, yes, definitely. Yeah. So it doesn't actually say about this, but I, I heard that it was to do with the Sewol ferry disaster that happened. Okay, so we're just going to go through the music and lyrics portion of the Wikipedia page. So, musically, Spring Day is a mid-tempo alternative hip hop and pop rock power ballad with Brit rock and electronic influences. The tempo is composed in the time signature of 4/4 time and in the key E flat major with a tempo of 108 beats per minute, constructed in verse chorus form. The verses have an E B G CM7 AB chord progression, while the chorus follows an E B GM AB ABM sequence. The song relies on rock instrumentation that consists primarily of keyboards and synthesizer, guitar, and bass. Jungkook provided backing vocals for the track alongside Alyssa Rupert. The production of the song makes use of EDM synths, compressed bass, bass, and piano. It further utilizes the mechanical hissing, percussion, and whining electronic sounds, which provide an enveloping airlock. The song consists of rap breaks, dreamy vocals, and half-spoken deliveries, for which BTS's vocal range spans from B3 to B5. The verses are driven by dense chords, pain-shredding guitar strums, and whirring synths. A reviewer of the singles jukebox compared the chords in the composition to that of Flo Rida's song Wild Ones. Speaking on about the concept and meaning behind Spring Day during a V Live broadcast, RM stated that he wrote lyrics when thinking of his middle school and high school mates for whom he hadn't heard in a long time. RM compared the song's mood to that of the band's 2015 singles I Need You and Run. Lyrically, the song uses a seasonal metaphor to compare the longing separation from loved ones to eternal winter. The verses use snowy imagery to explore themes of loss and yearning, grief and moving on, such as I want to hold your hand and go to the other side of the earth, want to put this end to the put an end this winter. How much do I have to long for you, like snow piles upon the ground, until the spring day comes? End quote. The line, quote, like a snow piercer, I was left alone, unquote, is a reference to Bong Joon Ho's movie Snowpiercer 2013. While, quote, I hate even this moment that is passing by, quote, is a line used to suggest the ephemerality of life. The track's lyrics also speak of a mature society that can embrace the wound of others, and they touch upon themes of mental health and depression. During the chorus, the line, quote, I want to see you, unquote, is repeated several times. Towards the end of the song, the band relays comfort and warmth to the listener by being hopeful for a reunion, quote, no darkness, no season can last forever, end quote. Yeah, it's pretty deep. It's like kind of depressed in like some ways, but also is like nice depressed. Those are two words that I never thought I'd say in conjunction with each other, but yeah, here we are. So their fifth EP, Love Yourself Her, was released on the 18th of September 2017 with the lead title of DNA. Lo and behold, nobody is even surprised. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I actually prefer their B-sides Best of Me and, mic drop. But I just don't like the title. And its intro, Serendipity, which I actually did not know how to say for a very long time, which I'm sure my parents were absolutely loving now. I was like, that word, was by Jimin. It was his solo track, which I actually did like that. And then, if I can find it, where is it? There was another one, I don't remember, I can't see it. Their third Japanese studio album, Face Yourself, was released on the 4th of April 2018, which I do like. Shock, surprise. Who knew I would actually like an album? I like Let Go, which is their like final track on the album, and it's £10, or at least it was £10 last time I checked on HMV. And I was like, do I buy it? And I'm like, Sophie, you can't keep buying albums whenever you're sad or happy or excited or you've done something good or you've done something bad and you want to treat yourself. You can't keep buying albums. You have no money. Which I'm like, that hasn't changed. That sentence has not changed. So anyway, their next EP, Love Yourself Tear, was released on the 18th of May 2018. Coming in 4 versions, which again can all be interchanged to be like a load of squiggly squiggles. And I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, it isn't squiggles, it's meant to be special. I'm like, yeah, squiggles. We love a good squiggle. No, I don't care. Comment if you want to. I don't mind. It's fine. It's whatever. I don't. It's not like I'm going to respond. So anyway, we had another intro, Singularity, which was performed by V, it's his solo song. And it was alleged that Yeonjun, who is a member of TXT but obviously hadn't debuted at this point, was actually a part of the performances. But that was disproven by Yeonjun himself. So we don't know who was performing in that. It was probably just backup dancers that were for big hit at the time. And we had Fake Love as the title track and The Truth Untold. This song, it just hits differently. Yeah. I found an English version of this song and it was on Spotify and I kept on playing it to the point where my sister was like, Sophie, if you play that song one more time, I might smash your phone. And I was like, well, yeah, fair enough. It's very annoying sometimes. But also, I just can't stop listening to it. And we also had Anpan Man, which I loved. And I tried to explain it one time and I was like, I don't know how to explain it other than like relating it back to Pingu, which is an anthropomorphized penguin. It's like a cartoon in England, or it might just be everywhere else, and it's very, very strange. And like Pingu kind of goes on weird adventures. I mean, my dad used to watch it when I was a kid, so yeah, very, very strange. Don't ask questions for things you don't want answers to. It's fine. How I live my life. So they released a compilation album, Love Yourself Answer, on the 24th of August 2018. So 2 days before my birthday. We loved that. And it was supported by the single Idol and had a alternative digital release with Nicki Minaj as a feature. And again, it has obviously the physical albums all connect with each other. I think all of them I would get the third album, the one with a little bit of yellow in it. I think that one's the cutest. I know, I feel like that one speaks to me more, which is just quite honestly a load of bullshit. I'm sure a lot of people would think. So the first song on the album was Euphoria, which was Jungkook's solo song. Just Dance, this is just like the solo song, let's just quickly. Just Dance, which was by J-Hope. Serendipity, which is the full-length version by Jimin. And we have Love Trivia, Just Dance by RM. Singularity by V. Seesaw by Sugar. Epiphany by Jin. And that is it because I can't do words. And Love Myself, Answer Love Myself, was actually co-written by a lot of different people, but with Connor Maynard. And I found that out and I was like, Connor Maynard? And he's like a musician in the UK who did a song with, who was it by? Who was it with? Feature. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to remember. I've forgotten what I was about to look at. That's really bad, isn't it? Oops, it'll come back to me. Trying to find the next EP. Oh, right, yes. So on the 12th of April 2019, they released Map of the Soul Persona with the lead single Boy With Love this time. Not Boy in Love, but with love. He has love this time. This is just fucking weird. Oh, Jesus. What is wrong with me? Please don't answer that question. I'm aware. I'm weird. So, Intro Persona by RM, just by RM, was their first track, and then Boy With Love featuring Halsey. But they're obviously like they in Korea. Sometimes I'll have like an English like name for a song, then I'll have a Korean name for a song. It's very common with TXT. And for Boy With Love, they have a Korean version. I'm not going to try and say it because it will just be embarrassing, but the transliteration is A Poem for the Small Things. They also have one of my most favourite songs by them, Microcosmos, which I'm just like, and they have Make It Right, Home, Vu, and Dionysus, however you want to say it. I love all of the songs, and I actually kind of regret buying the album which has these songs in them because I actually prefer the Persona album cover instead of the whatever that bloomin' album is called. Map of the Soul 7. Because obviously it was for the 7th anniversary. If I can find it, I want to find it because I'm getting over this episode. How long have I been talking for? 47 minutes. Holy shit. If I can find it, I want to where can I find it? Just you get the random bits of aggression with me. Am I like tripping right now? Okay, so on the 14th of July 2020, they released their fourth studio full-length album, Map of the Soul 7, The Journey, which I thought was released after Map of the Soul 7, but it appears it was not. Oh, right, it was. Oh, for God's sake. Fucking Jesus Christ. I couldn't find it. I'm sorry, I couldn't find it. Map of the Soul 7 was released on the 21st of February 2020 with the title track of, if I can find it, I've lost the plot. Track listing. Was it just, let's just say Black Swan. And Black Swan. I liked Black Swan. Jeez Louise. And also the members did do solo songs. So we had Filter, which was Jimin's, My Time, which was Jungkook's, and Inner Child, which was V's, Moon, which was Jin's, and Outro Ego, which was J-Hope's. So the on title track, on single, what is wrong with me? It had a digital bonus release featuring Sia, and that was not can't speak, well received, because a lot of people think that Sia just kind of ruins the song, and I'm inclined to believe that. So, yeah. Moving back onto the Japanese album, Map of the Soul 7 The Journey was released on the 14th of July 2020 with the single Stay Gold, as well as a number of their other songs in Japanese versions. So we had Boy With Love, Make It Right, Dionysus, Idol, Airplane Part 2, Fake Love, Black Swan, and On, as well as the original songs Lights and Your Eyes Tell. And Your Eyes Tell is like one of the more popular Jungkook written songs. To be fair, that guy could write absolute bollocks and people would still love it. I'm just going to be honest. People would still eat that shit up because Jungkook made it. And that's why I always kind of go into these things with like a bit of like a level of skepticism, because I'm like, are these things actually good? Or are we just saying it's good because X person made it? I don't know. I'm just, you can disagree with me on that one, but you know, I don't always know. So the last album that they have released, well, actually no, that's a lie. The next release on the 20th of November 2020 was B, with I feel like I'm losing the plot. This is just Sophie losing the plot for a whole entire episode. Sophie lose the plot 1 year anniversary. So we had Life Goes On, Fly to My Room, Blue and Grey Skit, Telepathy Disease, Stay, and Dynamite. Fly to My Room also has a Korean title, and its transliteration is How to Travel in My Room, which was performed by Yoongi, Taehyung, Hoseok, and Jimin. And the only other song that wasn't with all the members was Stay, which was with RM, Namjoon, Jin, and Jungkook. And they had their first English single, Dynamite, on there, which also became a Lego set, which hopefully I'm going to get for my birthday, even though it's being retired this year. Yeah. You would think after so many years of having Lego and never really knowing how to play with it, and it also just sitting doing nothing, I wouldn't buy Lego anymore. No. I love me a bit of Lego. Yeah. Sorry, I had a little bit of you know when you get those like little bits in your eyes and when you're sleeping, and then you just like kind of have to try and get them out of your eyes, otherwise they're gonna kind of annoy you for the rest of the day. So this is the part of BTS that I was there to see, which is fun. On the 21st of May 2020, we released Butter, which I have to admit I didn't like. Loads of people did though, so we're going to move past. And then on the 9th of July, they released Permission to Dance, which I actually did like. I think I like the R&B remix the most out of the two versions that I have listened to. But you know, those are my takes on their English stuff. My Universe, they released that with Coldplay. And it actually ended up being, I was in the car with my mum one time and they actually played it on the radio. And I said to my mum, oh, this is BTS. And my mum was like, no, it's Coldplay. And I was like, Coldplay featuring BTS. And my mum was like, that's cool. And apparently she was just singing the Korean lyrics as well. because she was singing along to the song and she just starts singing Korean. I was like, Mum, do you know Korean? She was like, No, Sophie, of course I don't. I'm like, you do realise you were just singing Korean? And I was like, I didn't know that. Just carry on driving. And I was like, right, that's my mum for you. Yeah, we don't. My mum's wonderful, if I do say so myself. So on the 10th of June 2020, they released their 3 CD anthology album Proof. And this is, oh my god, this was funny. So when I heard about this, I will admit, as soon as I heard about it, I was like, this is a disbandment album. This is like the type of thing that you would release when you're about to disband your group or like not release something for a very, very, very long time. And not a lot of people wanted to say that, which I agree with. You know, you don't want to admit it. But like when I was talking to my sister about it, she was like, "Yeah, no, absolutely, they're going away for a little bit." And I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be good." So they ended up releasing all of the songs that they wanted to. They also released quite a lot of the demos on one of the CDs, but they did release 3 original kind of songs, one of them being For Youth, Born Singer, and Run BTS. And they performed, I think they mainly performed, oh yeah, and I Can Do It. I Can Do It. Yet to Come, The Most Beautiful. I didn't know it had thingy. For Youth quotation mark and Young Love. I didn't know about that. When's? Anyway, don't know, don't care. Too tired for this. They ended up obviously going into the military after this, with Jin going first, and then Hoseok, Yoongi, and then Taehyun and RM, then Jimin and Jungkook. They are expected to come back this year. However, it might not happen. But not to worry, we're not gonna judge the boys. They can just do whatever they feel like they can do. Oh my god, I've been nearly recording for an hour. They are grown ass men. They can do it if they want to. They can come back anytime that they want to, and I'm sure we'll all be there to love and support. But yeah, thank you if you've been listening for this long. And if you've been listening to the podcast for as long as I've been doing it, thank you. I think. I don't really know. I don't really know how to kind of go about my feelings for the podcast. It's definitely been something that I've been like. It's definitely been a struggle to do it a lot of the time because it is something that is so out of my original wheelhouse. It's not something that I'm ever really truly expected that I would ever really do. And I know that if it comes down to it, I probably wouldn't carry on doing it. But like if like a different opportunity came along, I don't think I would carry on doing it as opposed to you know doing. I don't know where I'm going with this sentence. But no, it's just something I kind of fell into, kind of wanted to try out, and then really kind of ended up enjoying some aspects of it. Yeah, no, the past year has been interesting. It's been tough, but it's been interesting. And, for as long as people are listening, for as long as I'm enjoying it, I'm going to carry on. And if you want to carry on listening, then that's good, that's fine, that's dandy. Yeah, let's try and make this year extra nice. I don't know, the second year. Woo. As for like seasons, we're not gonna bother with like the whole seasons thing. I guess if you wanted to, this is like the 2025 season. Everything that's been released this year is like the 2025 season. But yeah, no. Thank you, really, really for listening. It's been an absolute pleasure being able to connect on something as special as K-pop. But yeah, no. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay in K-pop if you want to, and if not, then well, I hope you enjoyed your time here. Yeah, thank you. I really don't know how to end these. I've never known. I get awkward. But yeah, no, I've been recording for an hour, and I want to have a drink. But yeah, thank you, truly, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye.